allow the two children to have the budget every year. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. He go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé ọ̀rẹ́ aráyé. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun dá wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀dẹ̀lú kì í bò ní.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us tonight. It is Maiyegun Live.
Maiyegun diary politico.
Thank you so much, Olugbemiro Williams. As you are joining this broadcast, please read the caption of it. Read the description as well. Hear it. To invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them that Maiyegun today. But today. Budget, Adi.
Facebook. And yes,
the country is APC, Egbekegbe have managed to keep Nigeria and Nigerians so confused that even the president, or supposed the leadership of over 14 million workers are lost. The minimum craze, the minimum wage, or the maximum shege was supposed to be determined today, but there is but.
and yes,
The tripartite committee put together by Tinubu, led by supposed Georgia Kume, they have come up with their final offer. 62,000. You need to hear that of the states. Thank you. So thanks so much for joining me tonight. And it is Maiyegun live. So a week ago, the leadership of the Nigerian workers, they said they've had enough. Enough of back and forth negotiation that was leading to nowhere. While the cost of living crisis continued to eat up the people or the workers themselves. So they said their final request on the table will be 494,000 naira. And there's been so many debates on that since. However, Tinubu's government offered them 60,000 naira, which is practically $40. Okay, or yeah, I think, is it $40 or $38? Okay, so they rejected that. Okay, and then they declared a nationwide strike. National grid shut down. Water supply, electricity supply to the National Assembly, government agencies, and buildings shut down. That actually rattled them because it seemed for the first time in a long time that was an actual strike. Airports shut down. People couldn't fly in, they couldn't fly out. Anyway, within a few hours into it, they called the leadership of the labor again. Okay, come, let's talk. And when they came out of that meeting, they said they were relaxing the strike for a week because Tinubu offered them. Tinubu's guys told them they will add something to the 60,000. So let everybody go back to work for now. Anyway, like I said, so many debates on it. So last, it can't be like, say, the Nigerian workers are classed as beggars, sort of. So the above 60,000 that Tinubu promised them ended up being an additional urgent 2K. And you know that urgent 2K in Nigeria, it's the middle class level of begging. When you said, like, I did see urgent 2K for your hand. At a point, it was so raining until that format casted in Nigeria. Usually people were just on social media. Can I see urgent 2K, urgent 2K? So a day, some of them were making like 20,000, 30,000. And they are making more money than those who actually were working. So that's exactly what I believe the idea of above 60,000 of Tinubu came to be. Urgent 2K. So the final offer, 62,000 naira, 108% increase from the 30,000 naira minimum wage. Of course, the workers said nobody has kind of offered them that. They are waiting for when they will officially offer them that. But in the process, they too came down. They were like, okay, if inflation in Nigeria is over 400%, minimum wage should be similar to it, as the inflation has gotten to, a murderous level. Anyway, they came down to 250,000 naira. Laughable. That's what the majority of those who have said something negative about that, well, that's what they have said. Oh, that's laughable. If the government of Nigeria or the federal government offers 250,000, what do you think the states can offer? The states in Nigeria right now that are completely, like 90% of states in Nigeria right now is close to bankruptcy. If they don't give them money from Abuja in a month, or what they give them from Abuja in a month is short, even those who are government workers in those states, they will start begging. Some are already begging. They are working, but they are begging to survive. Kind of. Even though they are still thinking of creating more states, right? Instead of fusing together some of these politically created, settlements that they call states, not viable at all. Okay? So these states, some of them barely able to pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage. So to them, this is a joke. And listen, if now, because it is now about the people, right? So the state governments or the state governors are now saying, this is a federal system of government. The federal government can decide how much they will pay. They will pay their own workers. We will decide how much we will pay. That is the meaning of federal system of government. I was like, oh, Nigeria is now a federal system of government. Okay, interesting. Okay, so some of the states are currently, let me tell you what they are offering by each state before we continue on NLC's silence for now. But before I do that, today is, well, yesterday was the deadline of the agreement to suspend, to relax the strike. However, they gave them an extra 24 hours. So today they've started putting out some little snippet of the propaganda to come. Okay. However, 2 days ago, the state governors, they met over this. Okay. Apart from Lagos, Edo, Rivers, that are offering above 70,000 naira minimum wage, right? The rest of the 32 states in Nigeria. Okay, let's take them one by one, just for the sake of this chat. Abia State is offering 40,000 naira minimum wage. Alexoti. Adamawa is offering 45,000. Akwa Ibom is offering 65,000. That is above Tinubu's offer. Bauchi is offering 40. Bayelsa is offering 65. Benue is 48,000. Borno is offering 70. Yeah, Borno too. This is Borno State that is paying 7,800 naira salary to teachers in Borno State. Anyway, they say they will pay 70,000 this time. Cross River is offering 65,000 naira. Delta is offering 68,000. Ebonyi is offering 40,000. Edo, 70,000. Ekiti is offering 55,000. Enugu is offering 43,000. Gombe, 45,000. Imo, 57,000. Jigawa, 40,000. And then you have Kaduna is offering 45,000 naira. Kano is offering 50,000. Katsina is offering 45,000. Kebbi is offering 40,000. Kogi is offering 35,000. Kwara is offering 43,000. Lagos is offering 75,000. Nasarawa is offering 40. Niger is offering 45. Ogun is offering 65. Ondo is offering 62. Osun is offering 57. Oyo is offering 60. Plateau is offering 65. Rivers is offering 80,000. Sokoto is offering 40,000. Taraba 45. Yobe 42. And finally, Zamfara 30,000 naira. They are not offering anything bigger than 30,000 naira. So the question now is, the NLC and the TUC, who have said, even if they offer them 100,000 naira, they will not take it. Their president, Ajero, is currently in Geneva, Switzerland, by the way, for the ILO conference. Yeah, International Labor Organizations, ILO. So which means, as the tripartite committee of Tinubu have come out to say, yeah, that's the most we can offer, 62,000 naira, take it or leave it. If we offer you any penny above that, then we would have to sack people. So the Tinubu's guys, they are calling the NLC terrorists. Now what NLC is doing is an act of terrorism. And then the NLC responded that, no, you are the terrorist in Agbada. So now those exchanges, I would believe, also I would expect the NLC and all of them to actually be in a marathon of meetings. What are we going to do? Well, because if they are presenting this 62,000, as we know, that's what they are presenting. What are we going to do? Are we going to go on strike? Or are we just going to maybe just take it? Kind of, right? But when you ask them, they will be like, we are also kind of still waiting. So those workers, I mean, those Nigerian workers who are feeling the brunt of these economic policies of Tinubu and their gang. I don't know what your expectations are. Okay, you are not going to get 100,000. So what are you going to do? So instead of them being in a marathon, like 48 hours marathon meetings, a big showdown, where some people are saying, NLC no agree, NLC no agree for them, or you must remain this or that, oh, Baba. The same NLC leadership is currently in Geneva. They are waiting for the news. And what did they say? They are saying that they don't believe everything that they are reading. And they still believe that Tinubu is a father. And that Tinubu is not going to, like Tinubu will have his own offer. You see all these 62,000, these 60,000, all these things. If the Nigerian government, starting with the federal, if they can purge the workers' verification or something like that, or workers' register, and purge it of the ghost workers. I mean, if they tell you that Nigerian federal government workers are, for example, if they say they are 2 million, you can be rest assured that, Baba, this is how ridiculous. So you can be rest assured that 30% of that are ghost workers. These are workers that are either not existing or they exist, but they are either not living in Nigeria anymore, but they are still collecting salaries, drawing salaries, getting promotions, and all of that. They are not there anymore. They are not doing the job. Ghost workers. You probably will pick about 400,000 ghost workers or 500,000 ghost workers from that 2 million. And that's part of the wage bill. Every administration will do workers verification. Wala go shele, this, that. At the end of the day, the real workers will be sacked and ghost workers will remain, and the wage bill will continue to go high. Kind of. Now, if you go to all the states in Nigeria too, it is the same. If you go to, let me give you an example, Ogun State. So the population of Ogun State is purported to be about the same as that of Scotland, okay? 4.5 million. And some said 5 million. Anyway, inside that 5 million population, real or fake, there is a wage bill. The last time I checked, there was a wage bill of over 2 billion naira every month, paid to over 300,000 workers. And those are just the state government workers, so not local government. So when you add the local government workers, you'll be looking at about 500,000 wage bill. But guess what? Half of that, or maybe 1/3 of that as well, is filled with ghost workers. People who are drawing salaries that are going to private pockets, not to any real worker. So they said, okay, if you cut down this bazaar, you know, these extravagant lifestyles that you are kind of building for yourselves, right? And funding. If you cut that by half, and then you possibly stream the real ghost workers out of the workforce, right? You may be saving yourself a fortune. And indeed, you will be able to afford to pay the 250,000 naira minimum wage. All of these are just like the common talk everywhere. Why don't you stop buying cars? Why don't you stop building houses? Why don't you stop traveling abroad? If you can be traveling abroad, then you can pay us the money. But nobody has really tried to stop them. You know that movie, Catch Me If You Can. That's exactly what I think the Nigerian criminal politicians are really like. Stop us if you can. If you can't stop us, then shut up. We will do what we will do. So you have to try and stop us. If you can't stop us, then damn you, kind of. So the workers are saying they can afford it. And they are saying, no, we can't. You're wrong, we can't. And indeed, they can't with this lifestyle, they can't. The economic policies, the borrowing, you know that under Tinubu in 1 year, it has been established that Tinubu's regime, it has borrowed over 24 trillion naira. Do you know that? In 1 year. Do you? Well, that is what Tinubu's government reports as investment surplus. They are even declaring surplus. They said Tinubu's government gained over 6 trillion naira investment money. Baba na loan, now borrowed money, now borrowed money. And borrowed money means sorrowed economy. You will have to sorrow for it. So what's the point? The money is devalued, the money is valueless, and every now and then the cost of living continues to strangulate you. The Tinubu's government that want to pay you 32,000 naira extra is the same Tinubu's government that has increased your electricity tariff, Baba, the price of food increased, the price of fuel increased, the price of electricity that you won't even have increased. So by the time you try to put them side by side, you can easily see the Robin Hood, robbing Peter to pay Paul, kind of. You know, it's a shame, isn't it? So the NLC are saying that whatever you are hearing about this 62,000, just consider it as a joke. They trust that Tinubu will do them better. And even if Tinubu offer them 100,000 naira, they won't take it. So the question now is, who is going to tell them? Yesterday, I shared with us Reverend Mbaka, Father Mbaka. Yeah, Mbaka. Then I have another one for you on this matter. A lot of people are worried because it is not just a Tinubu that is negotiating here. There are other horrible offers that are more or less like almost 80% of Nigerians are being subjected to a slavish environment, a slavish society. And it is so coordinated that the people themselves seem so powerless, right? But nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to stop them. You would have to stop them. Listen to this from another preaching from the pulpit.
I have been sick of this problem. I have been sick of this controversy over living wage or minimum wage. And I believe that something is seriously wrong with the heads of many of our leaders. How can anyone who earns 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, not to talk of people who earn 1 million, 2 million, how can they go to sleep in good conscience every day? How can they go to sleep in good conscience and come out to sit down in a boardroom to discuss the sustainability or otherwise of paying 60,000 to the poorest of workers? How can we go to bed and sleep, all those who belong to the elite, who earn 2, 3, 4, 500,000, 1 million? How can you go to sleep in good conscience, I say, if you still have any conscience? How can you go to sleep in good conscience and come out to be debating? I hear people on TV, I watch people on TV, experts, economic experts, corporate executives, government officials, who are taking home more than $1 million in a month. And they are there arguing that 60,000 or over will destroy the economy, is not sustainable. How wicked! You give 60,000 to a poor worker, a poor worker who may have a family of 2 or 3 or 4, for his feeding, for his accommodation, for his house rent, for his medical care, for his children's school fees. How wicked! How blind! How can we do that? And we think that God will bless our country? We think that it is by bringing a new national anthem for God to bless our country? How can you commit this crime against humanity? For me, this is a crime against humanity. Because the poor people who cannot afford to buy gari, I'm not saying they will buy that they are to buy sardino. I'm saying buy gari, poor people who cannot buy gari. I'm not talking of meat or fish. Poor people are dying because they have no money to cure malaria. How can you go to sleep in good conscience? Those of us who belong to the elite, how can we go to sleep with good conscience and we are debating and we are discussing and we vote 500 million naira to meet and debate about paying 60,000 to the poor? My dear friends, I see this as a new form of apartheid. Nigeria is one of the most unequal societies in the entire world. A society where it's like the animal farm. A society where we have conspicuously rich people, people who are living in conspicuous consumption, and others who are in deplorable, dehumanizing poverty. If you have somebody in this country that takes home 1 million naira, I mean 1 million, I'm not talking of 30 million naira, 1 million naira in the month, and he can open his mouth to be part of a discussion about the poor getting 60,000 naira. I say anyone who earns up to 1 million naira in the month should keep his or her mouth shut when he hears them debating about taking 60,000 for the poor. More than 60 years after independence, we are running an apartheid society. This time it's not racial apartheid, it's economic apartheid. We are running an apartheid society of people of conspicuous consumption, flying in private jets around at government expense, people who are riding 4, 5, 6, 7 SUVs with pilot vehicles, chasing the poor out of the road, and poor people, you are debating, you are discussing, you are over 60,000 for the poor. You insult the poor by saying 30,000, and later you say 48,000, and now you say 60,000, and you pay more than 60,000, you come out with 62,000. You insult poor Nigerians. I say there is hardly any society I know that is as divided as the Nigerian society. And a society that is so divided is just sitting on a keg of gunpowder. I have warned here before that the revenge of the poor is at the corner. The revenge of the poor is at the corner. I am not calling for it, but it will happen as night follows the day. Because when you so reduce people, you reduce people to this dehumanizing level. Nature does not allow a situation of islands of affluence amidst a sea of poverty. Nature does not allow it. And let me warn those in the elite. Let me warn those in the tripartite committee of government. Let me warn that it is in the course of nature that when a predator continues to devour the very resources that the predator needs for his own sustenance, nature will take out the predator in order to have equilibrium, in order to have a measure of equilibrium. Nature is about balance, you know. All of nature is about balance. And human beings are part of nature. And Nigerians are part of nature. If the predator who needs the animals in the kingdom, it needs the animals in the book to survive, if it is recklessly devouring the very animals it needs for its own survival, if it is devouring it recklessly and senselessly, nature will step in and remove the predator so that there can be balance in the system, in the ecosystem. Let me warn that all those who are in government, I hear, I have not confirmed, that there are people taking home almost 30 million naira in the month. And you have the guts, and you have the temerity to sit down, and your conscience allows you to sit down to discuss about 60,000 naira for poor worker for the whole month, and you are the one that has all the opportunities of ex-Esther code and all kinds of perquisites of office. You sit down to discuss about 60,000, and that is all that the person will have in the month. You sit down to discuss this and come out and say, this is not sustainable. How is 30 million naira sustainable in that economy? How is it sustainable that the leader has 100 SUVs going with him to the airport? How is it sustainable? How is it sustainable that government leaders junket around the world? How is that sustainable? I say we are committing a crime against humanity. And if we do not repent and retrace our steps immediately, the revenge of the poor is at the corner. Do not hold me responsible, because while the devastation was on, I did not keep quiet. Do not hold me responsible, because while the madness was on, I did not sit on the fence. I kept on shouting that the revenge of the poor is at the corner unless we change our course. And if we do not change our course, we will end up where we are headed. And where we are headed is devastation, is destruction, is violent revolution.
Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Reverend Father Omogbon, about declare your name. It's like me. When this madness is going on, I speak out. Oh, see, oh, I am speaking. Oh, posterity judge me. Oh, so that when this shit hit the fan, you go remember my face. I say, I remember him. He's not one of them. Papa declare your name. Bear me witness. Hold me not responsible for what is going to happen to this elite in Nigeria. How could you sit so comfortably where you yourself take home over 500,000, $1 million naira, or 2 million naira every month? How could you sit there comfortably to discuss that 62,000 naira? Anything above that is going to crash Nigeria economy. How could you? Nigeria elites are the most dirtiest, stinkiest elites in the world. They are horrible. They are from a country that is pretty much a shithole, a contraption, lawless. But they are comfortable sharing in the bureaucracy, the politics, and every other thing that is dear to share. And the whole place looks like like a mushy, trashy, stinking shithole. But they love to drive their latest Rolls Royce, limousine, the convoy cars, and all of that stuff, or build their mansions inside the shithole to show their opulence. Shameless elites. Shameless. Baba was talking about the anger of the poor. He's talking about the balance of the ecosystem, how nature can take its own course. Nature taking its own course means that those who are feeding fat from the people, in a way that they have become insensitive, they have become apathy. I think apathy is like not having sympathy, not having an empathy. Anyway, Oyinbo and that, anyway, you shall get what I'm trying to say. They do not have any empathy or sympathy. They are so insensitive, so distant and entitled towards the people. They were supposed to be leading a right. It's not right. One of them was on a Channels TV. This one that you're about to watch is one of the northern elites. Is from Jigawa. He would have been a president if Goodluck Ebere Jonathan had bowed out when Obasanjo said, don't go for any second term. This guy was going to be the next anointed candidate. And Jonathan disobeyed Obasanjo. The rest is history. But this guy is a thief. He's not just a thief. When he was governor, he was a huge thief, so big that the thievery, the gene of a thieving is actually runs in the family. Is currently standing trial, okay, for stealing from the Jigawa state people when he was their governor for 8 years. His name is Sule Lamido. His own sons too, they are currently standing trial for helping their father to steal the Jigawa state money. Guess what? This was like about 8 years ago. Okay. Anyway, is the guy invited by Shehu to come and speak on this minimum wage. I want you to listen. It can be the mirror into how they actually think as well. He stole billions. They are discussing 62,000. Listen.
The question is, the Nigeria that we all want.
I said so, I said so from the very beginning that, those of us who, when PDP came to power in 1999, and for them who have been there for 6 years through Obasanjo, Radda, and Jonathan, a number of mistakes were made. We became deluded by power. We made so many mistakes. Therefore, that's why we're having this kind of consequence of suffering today under APC. So, what is the, we have to go back and say, why have we gone wrong? Let's come together first, go to Nigeria, and then. Have you realized that, Governor Lamido? Have you realized what you have done wrong as a class of politician? Because the political elite are being blamed for the problems of Nigeria today, which you are a chief, you are a part of them. I have been saying so. See, for instance, a party which made you a governor, dignified you and honored you. You left the party and went to join opposition to destroy your own party. Is that something new? Is that news? It just happened in Nigeria, isn't it? So we all knew what we did wrong. If those who went to betray PDP had remained PDP, had been more patient and more tolerant and more patriotic and more caring and more concerned, there will be no APC government. So we know our failure, we know what went wrong. We know it. We're not hiding it.
No, I'm asking if you can tell us, what did you do wrong?
Sure. You mean so Lamido or the party?
No, I'm talking about your class of politicians. You said you've looked at the past and you are looking at what you have done wrong.
I told you that, you know, look, Sean, I don't want to be very, very personal, but I said, look, there are people who are honored by the party called PDP in 1999 to 2015, who are made presidents, vice president and governors, senators and ministers, all right, who abandoned the party and betrayed the cause of the party. Now, if those people had stayed in the party, have done what was right as leaders, because a leader should be able to be a kind of reference point, should be someone who should be inspiring others to follow, do the right thing. So they know people can take their own bearing from him. So we did a number of things wrong as leaders of the party, as those who are honored by the party, and that's why we're today in this kind of status. So that, you know, we'll all come back and forgive each other for our wrong, and then and then come back and restore our trust, our unity, our understanding, and our common vision for Nigeria, and then work for Nigeria. That's what I'm saying. When you say I have to say must aim almost to be,
there is a problem here.
Yeah.
If you within
it's your problem. It's your problem. It's your problem.
So what I'm
it's your problem, Shehu.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is, there is one thing for you to forgive yourselves within your group. It's another thing for the Nigerian people to forgive your group as politicians. So the question I'm asking is, can you describe to us, Governor Lamido, tonight,
what I'm saying?
Kind of leader?
What I'm saying? No.
Yeah, just
Shehu, Nigeria are not here at conversation. They're hearing you. They're hearing me. They hear what you're saying, they hear what I'm saying. So let them decide what we are saying, and then from there take their own direction, take their own cue. I mean, you cannot be the chief advocate of Nigeria. You can't be the chief advocate. You can't be. And you don't also get me programmed to simply answer the way you wish me to answer. I'm not a machine which you are going to manipulate. And they also say so. I will not say what you want to hear.
So let me ask you quickly, sir.
Yes.
Can you describe for us? Since you disagree with the leadership of Bola Tinubu and the APC at the moment, and you think that you are bringing up an alternative ahead of 2027, can you describe the kind of leader that Nigeria needs going forward?
Again, let me remind you, I have never from day one agreed with Tinubu. I never agreed with him. I'm not part of those who brought him into what he says. So therefore, asking me whether, it doesn't even arrive, because from the very beginning, I know, the party he was leading under Buhari and the other who know was not a party for Nigeria. It was a party simply for personal achievement of their own interests, which they have achieved, Buhari and Tinubu. So I was never part of them. So why are you asking me now? I was never part of Tinubu and Buhari.
No, I'm asking about your own plan and strategy. You are looking for you are working together with some of your friends and partners ahead of 2027, and you say you are working in the PDP to reform things and forgive yourselves within your ranks.
Okay, fine.
So the question is that what kind of leader are you trying to put together to put forward to Nigerians?
Try and be patient enough. We are now working very well. We are working very, very hard. Be patient. Wait for the outcome. If you ask me to anticipate, or you are trying to anticipate, it can't work. We are working it's a process which we have to manage before we get there. So don't stop not so anticipating. Just keep on praying for us and hoping that we are doing this for Nigeria. That's all.
Maybe it's going to be Sule Lamido 2027. Could it be?
Hello?
I'm saying it could simply be Sule Lamido. We may just have the answer right on the screen right there. The man looking at himself in the mirror right there, Sule Lamido. Could it be the answer for the PDP in 2027?
You see,
nuisance Lele.
Shehu, they overdo sometimes or many times. His line of questions and all of that sometimes are like ridiculous. But indeed, could you smell the arrogance and the entitlement from what you could manage to hear from what he was doing for there? That is to give you the window into the art and thinking minds of these rogues in charge of Nigeria, and those who are aspiring to still want to fix it and all that. They do not take responsibility, and they will never, even when they pretend to. It's all deceit in order probably to get you hooked up on another lie, propaganda, that by the time you realize what's just happened, they've taken a lot away from you again. That is if they have not taken your life. Let's go for a short break. Just 1 minute. And if you are here with me tonight, please take a moment also, okay, to go like that broadcast. The worker says they will reject 100,000, even if they are offered 100,000. Tinubu and his gang are working on how to push the propaganda on the 62,000. Some states are offering as low as 40,000 naira. All of this, they are just like the scenes still waiting to happen. And the hour is clicking. Like this broadcast, I will be back.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it. That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. That transmission. The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Welcome back. So, one of the representative of the NLC that spoke on their national TV today says something that I want to share with you before we go to the next thing, right? Here.
The fact is this, that we, the federal government, including the National Assembly, are the ones who have the call. It's their call now. It is not our call. Our demand is there for them to look at and send a federal executive bill, an executive bill to the National Assembly. And now for the National Assembly to look at what we have demanded, the various facets of the law, and then come up with a National Minimum Wage Act that meets our demand. If that does not meet our demand, we have given the federal government a 1 week notice to look at the issues. And that 1 week expires tomorrow. If after tomorrow, we have not seen any tangible response from the federal government, the organs of the organized labor will meet. The relevant organs will meet to decide on what next. And so it is not in my hands to tell you what we are going to do now, but it's in the hands of the organs. And these organs are made up of people from every part of Nigeria. These organs are made up of people from every religion in Nigeria. They will all meet and decide on the direction to go. But that is likely going to be dependent on what the federal government and National Assembly does in a few days' time.
So what time does it expire tomorrow? What time does it expire tomorrow? What
it
time
expires
precisely?
tomorrow by midnight tomorrow. It expires.
Okay, so what is the nature of action that we should expect from Labour? The nature of reaction that we should expect from Labour? Will you be calling a strike if the federal government refuses to shift ground from its 62,000 naira?
It was clear what we said. We said we were relaxing a nationwide indefinite strike. It's like you are putting a pause on it. And so if you put a pause on something and the organs that govern us as trade unions decide that we should remove that pause, if we remove that pause, it means we go back to what was in existence before. And it's also important that at this juncture that because you mentioned the national grid, it's also important that I use this to also clarify that when workers embark on withdrawal of service, a strike connotes withdrawal of service. If we withdraw our service, okay, what happens is that the machines will not run themselves. The machines will stop operating. And that is what happens all over the world. Workers have withdrawn their services. So if we withdraw our services, things will not work as they were working before. And that is what we have been doing all this while. And that is why.
Just so we are clear, that was yesterday and he was talking about today. So, and indeed, they are waiting. So to them, it's that everybody is saying whatever they want to say. Everybody has opinion about this and all of that. The last time they were offered 105, I'm sorry, we heard the rumor of 105,000 naira. But that was quickly debunked, only for them to come back with 62,000 naira. So at this point, it actually makes sense. So the National Assembly guys, in the last 1 week, they've met, and instead of discussing how to get an acceptable minimum wage, they were discussing on how to ensure that whenever the labor calls for strikes, there are some certain government facilities or national facilities or national structures that must not be shut down. Well, does that even make any sense? Okay, I am working for the electricity generating company, or you are working for water. That one is working for agriculture. You are working for transports. So then we say, okay, strike, everybody shuts down. So if I leave the place, the machine will shut down. I don't have to even shut it down. All the machines, that's what you call the downing tools. You down tools, I'm not working again. If the policeman goes on strike, it simply means that nobody's going to be there to receive your 911 call or 999 call or 112 call, emergency calls. If the doctors are on strike, surprisingly right, they just don't shut the emergency point of the hospitals. But yeah, it seems that when they say they are downing tools, it means that there will be no doctors in the hospitals, there will be no driver to drive the ambulance, there will be no nurses there will be no firefighters, and there will be no drivers to drive the fire truck. There will be shut down of the whole country. And that's where you can see the private sectors, okay? For example, if the government is the one running the power sector, they will shut down the power of the country. But the power sector is controlled by the private sector, right? It's only if the private workers are going on. It's like that, Sha. But Nigerian senators are making laws. They are trying to make laws to say every time you go on strike, if you are working for power, you're working for water, you're working for you're working for airports, aviation, you cannot go on strike. You need to allow people to fly in, fly in, fly out, enjoy electricity and water while you discuss your issue. Don't go on strike, kind of. So, but that guy just said there that they are waiting for their leaders. But their leaders are in Switzerland right now. Maybe they are currently doing video call. Okay, Oga, things are very hard here. And your guy inside this 5-star hotel that is paid for. I'm not going to say paid for by government. I'll say with the union money, because I think Nigerian workers pay union fee now. You get paid, you get charged that, right? Union fee. Anyway, so as union, right? The union president, the TUC and the rest of them, they want to go and discuss about the Nigerian workers' problems in Switzerland. when they are facing supposedly the battle of their lives. Irony is ironical, right? That's the irony of life. Okay, the solution is possibly out there, not inside Nigeria. So we are waiting for that hour to pop up. And somebody like myself is monitoring with you, everyone. Now, for the Southwest governors, they came together in their own usual paparazzi way of trying to pretend that they're actually doing something. These are the guys, okay, that have failed to harness the potential of the region, just as it was the dream of the man they love to fly his name they love to drop his name at every step. His dream was to bring together the Yoruba people administratively, traditionally, culturally, and then economically. And all his life and his legacy is to replicate, every development you see in a place in every part of Yoruba land. His policies were plotted and planned and executed as a policy for the people of the Western region, in which the Yorubas benefited immensely. But look at these guys. Chief Obafemi Awolowo did all of this, right? In a space of just 6 years, 1954 to 1962. Just about 8 years, less than 8 years, he was able to do everything you are reading or seeing or hearing about Chief Obafemi Awolowo. It's been 25 years of the dubious pseudo-democracy in Nigeria. The Yorubas have been one of the mostly hit by the consequences of misgovernance, plutocracy, corruption, that we are witnessing today. Yorubas have been one of the most hit. Our education has become so polarized and almost destroyed as we speak. And same with other sectors of our life. So they couldn't harness this vision. They could not put together the resources available in that region for the benefit of the people of that region. When they came together to establish a security outfit to combat the invading jihadists, the Fulani terrorists, there was no unity. There was no united front, not share of information, the share of resources, nothing, just the paparazzi, the photo shoot, and that's it, while our people continue to suffer the indignity of their own failure. So yeah, they met in Lagos and they elected one of them as the leader of the Southwest governors. There's nothing that you can say beneficial you can bring about from the dubious democracy that they have. Yoruba land could have been connected by train, by rail. Yoruba land could have been connected by the super highways. Yoruba land could have been built. I'm talking about education in Yoruba land, infrastructure in Yoruba land. They could have been so great. Industrial development of Yoruba land could have been so great if they have actually harnessed the potential, the available resources in that region for the people of that region, unfortunately. Yeah, they met yesterday, and this was what they had to say. Was it even yesterday? I think it was today. And it was pretty much about, yeah, we are all talk, Sha. Listen.
In our Southwest region, and notes the collaborative efforts of all security agencies, including Amotekun Corps, and we reaffirm our support for the creation of state police. On food security, the forum acknowledged the efforts of the federal government and decides that our various honorable commissioners for agri at all of our states should begin to meet and set up a working template which will encourage a collaboration based on each state's comparative advantage in the agricultural value chain. The Forum on Minimum Wage, the Forum supports the efforts of the federal government, the Nigerian Governors Forum, and the organized private sector on their ongoing conversations with the Nigerian Labour Union. The Forum believes that the outcome will reflect a true fiscal federalism that we all preach. The Forum also encourages the federal government's effort on mineral resource exploitation. There should be a further collaboration between the federal government and states, especially in areas of granting of leases to various investors. The Forum condemns in strong terms the group of people agitating for the Yoruba nation. The Forum agrees to strengthen the Dawn Commission on its operational efficiency and charges the Commission to focus on economic integration, cooperation, and investment promotion of the Southwest region. To that end, each state is also mandated to appoint a focal person that will be reporting to them and have integration with the Dawn Commission. This communique was
nuisance lele.
Very useless set of people. How many times have you been hearing about the Dawn Commission? Dawn Commission. Sanwo-Eku and those before him, they preferred to go and look for land in Kirby than in Ota. That is just 10 kilometers away from Lagos State. Or even Ewe, which is inside the Lagos State. They would rather do that. But every time they come together inside Alausa and they say they are coming together as Southwest governors, the only card that Tinubu's boys in Lagos always pull is to remind us of the Dawn Commission. Talk about state police. Talk about resource control. All of these are just for the cameras. They all work at different cross purposes. But if they want to put something out to kind of make it look like, oh yeah, we are going to look into Amotekun was established, Lagos State is making times 5 of what Ogun State is making in revenue. And then when you now go on to Oyo, you go to Ekiti, you go to Osun. I mean, if you go to Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, these are, I mean, including Ogun, 5 states in Yoruba land, 5 states, they are hotspots for the Fulani terrorist activities against farmers in Yoruba land. Amotekun is still probably carrying Dane guns. They pro-federalism, pro-regionalism, autonomy for the regions. They are now in power and speaking grammar. But that's not even just that. Economy of Yoruba land is never enhanced. The main source of Yoruba land economy, agriculture, has been under attack for the past 9 years. It is still under attack as we speak. But apart from that show up you are seeing there, everyone is on their own. And they are those who proudly will say to you, Yorubas don't need Yoruba nation. In fact, those weak men you saw on your screen, they will boldly tell you that Nigeria doesn't need Yoruba. It's the Yoruba people that need Nigeria. I'm talking about these lazy ass clowns. They will boldly, confidently tell you that Yorubas will suffer if Yoruba break out of Nigeria. I have heard them say that many times. This Bambiala, Agbada wearing chancers, opportunists, betrayers. They will give you all the reasons why whatever it is that we are getting from Nigeria right now is the best that we can get. Unfortunately, like I said, if you can't stop them, if you don't stop them, they won't stop. Stop us if you can. I think that's the badge that the Nigerian criminal politicians actually wear about. Playing with people's lives, people's emotions, people's livelihood. Pretend that you are trying to help them. But what you're actually doing is making it even worse for them. And if they, by any chance, revolt, then you move to crush that revolution too. Same MO everywhere. But something there is, which that Reverend Father said, no matter how much we think the people have been conquered, listen, once in a while, even from history, the oppressed, they do break loose where their own oppressors will lose control. They may regain the control later, but the damages that will be done may alter the course of history or their own history or the course of their destiny forever. Because this is too much, right? So talking about Ondo State, I saw a video of the young people in Ondo State protesting the illegal, I don't know if I should call it illegal. Yeah, it is that kind of illegal raid on a nightclub in Akure, where 127 nightclubbers, partygoers, were arrested, assaulted, abused, whipped, beaten, locked up. So I saw some of these guys who were on the street protesting that EFCC only. I mean, this is just them saying, stop the assault, stop EFCC brutality. I will share that with you. Right. Meanwhile, while we are busy talking about the career criminals in charge of Nigeria and their friends, the supposed stinking, dirty elites of Nigeria, who are so poor that the only thing they have is money, the same money that they have made so valueless due to their own greedy, selfish, personal policies that are destroying lives and livelihood. But we can also talk about, sometimes we do say, I think we believe that whatever you see or say about these criminals in charge of Nigeria, Tinubu and his gang, some of us believe that they are a reflection of the larger population that continue to pop them up, not just in Abuja, but across Nigeria. Nigerians don't majority of Nigerians don't hate crime, oppression, corruption, all of this, most of the time is because they are not the ones benefiting from it or doing it, right? Also, when you take your eyes off at the politicians, just for a minute, and pay attention to the lifestyles of an average Nigerian. I'm not sorry, by the way. Yeah, I'm so not sorry to remind all of us that an average Nigerian have this mindset of a criminal, and he doesn't see it that way. Yeah, if I manage to deceive you to take something from you, there is a section of Nigeria or Nigerians that will say, that will blame you, not me. Yeah. A lot of people will condemn it too, no doubt too. But some will condemn simply because others are condemning it. But when it is not public, they will still blame you. You are so slow. You need to stay sharp. In this place, you need to be very smart. They are wanting buy. Oh, they've scammed you. They collected your phone. Now that's what they do in that area. I know the area. Every time I go to that area, I know the slack. See this guy. They don't show this guy Lagos. Welcome to Lagos, my dear sister. This is the livelihood of an average people in Nigeria. When they commit these kind of crimes, they will tell you, our politics, leave him alone, leave her alone. The politicians are our enemy. You are pursuing this one instead of you to go after the politicians that are stealing billions. It's general. Unfortunately, a lot of people just kind of learn how to live with that. Unfortunately, you're right there. It's your guy Woda. Say, officer, I know. I just came out, officer. Officer, I've not made any money this morning. I will see you when I'm coming back. Oh yeah, park. Then you start hearing people in the car. In the van or in the bus. Pay him now. Give him the money. Or Benny, don't delay also. Don't delay us this morning. I'm going to work. I'm going for appointment. You pay him now. You are collecting money for transportation all this money. You cannot even pay police. Pay them now. It's their money. Pay them. Give him his money. And so the driver will be like, okay. Okay. Officer, you take. Because to them, it is okay, Leave them. That's not our problem. All these politicians that is stealing our money, they are the problem, my brother. So give them, kind of, I'm saying. So people normalize all these abnormalities because nobody wants to be inconvenienced. Don't inconvenience me. Don't inconvenience me. Don't delay me. Pay. And that's how they run it. And that is why the criminals that are ruining Nigeria, they will always have the chance of coming back because every one of them that is an enabler, a typical Nigerian, right? They will agree with you. These guys are thieves. They steal our money. So if they come and give me money, I'll take it. Some of them will pretend to you and say, I'll take their money and vote for my choice. Alayo. Typical Nigerian. I didn't vote for them. I don't even know how they won. They shared money in my area. I collected money, but I didn't vote for them. And then everybody comes out and say, once they start showing them the Shege, then they start saying, all of you that voted for this government, see what you have brought upon us. So, kind of, right? So I found one, and it's a lady. Nigeria has gotten to that stage where they will tell you to do whatever you can to survive. I just never actually thought a lady would be involved in fraud. To the point that I'm talking about, like involved, right? So this lady shared her story. She's arrested. They arrested her for killing her, I think, her boyfriend. And the reason was because the sharing formula, the boyfriend cheated on her, not with girls, but from the proceeds of the money they made from the fraud they committed, which she kind of said is their job as a couple. Ladies and gentlemen, may the Gen Z, the supposed leaders of tomorrow, see where we found ourselves. So the ladies' version.
I'm from when I met my husband, he's 219. And when I met him, we don't have anything. I'm the one gathering everything. I'm gathering everything for him. Even feeding. I'm the one doing it. I use my money to rent a house at home. Instead of we are living. So before I gave him my old phone and we started the Yahoo business. So God will not bless him, he picked money. When he picked money, he bought 2 bikes. He got 2 bikes. I didn't know about the man change. When I asked him anything, he told me that they don't have. But then told me the reason. He said I haven't paid the bike price. I was saying, you haven't paid my bride price, but we are leaving. But that's we two are friendly. And I'm supporting you in academy, in everything. But now you have made your own money, but you will not say that you are popular bride price. Who does that? Who does that? Then before I got pregnant for you, but when I get pregnant for you, that the maltreatment is much. The maltreatment is much, but I still because something about you. I put to bed a girl. Her name is Success. She is down. Chinubu is image. Still, the maltreatment still continues. Husband and wife have issues, quarrel and settle. But my own case is different. Where we have little misunderstanding, my husband will beat me, cry. What is all this? He will beat me as if they have been slave. But still, I still there.
So how did you start the Yahoo business with him?
He taught me.
It's a long story, okay? He believes that she is his wife, while the guy felt like, no, you are just my girlfriend. I've not paid any bride price on you. She feels betrayed for investing on him. You know, she invested in the Yahoo business, internet fraud. And according to her, he made money, duped someone, got money, and then invested the money on bikes. So he bought 2 bikes, for business, kind of. But he won't give her money. When she asked for money, he won't. And that's cheating. Then she felt like she's been enduring a lot too, by the way, including abuses from him. Like, he would beat me, beat me up like that, assault me, abuse me, then he's not taking care of me. Then she sensed that he was about to leave her. Rather than you leave me, I would rather do something I will regret. So she's so possibly full of remorse. They're like, man, how did I end up here? There are many stories like that too. And many younger people are currently living that lifestyle in Tinubu's APC Nigeria. I told you the other time, please pay attention to your children. If you have children, I don't even know if, because situation in Nigeria right now, I don't think that advice is really advisable. But let me say something on that. And when I told you to take care of your children, okay, it is to make sure you pay attention to them before somebody else gets their attention, and then manipulate that and then lead them through the pathway that you will never be proud of. Okay? But that's like a gentleman advice, and it seems straightforward, right? But it doesn't work like that in Nigeria. Okay? Even before I left Nigeria 12 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually this month. Wow. Today is 10th of June. I left Nigeria on the 4th of June, 2012. This is 10th of June, 2024, 12 years ago. And guess what? Even myself, while I was there, I knew, I saw it, I lived it. Then, where children were already breadwinners, there was no all these apps, once only, where people are now, where young people are now taking the pictures of their private parts, selling them at 500 naira on TikTok. I'm talking about 12 years ago. Some of those who are doing the OnlyFans, what do you call private chat, sex chat, 500 naira, 1,000 naira, online today, on WhatsApp today. They were children 12 years ago when I was already witnessing where children have become breadwinners. Some of us had to grow up so fast. Some of you watching me here, you had to grow up so fast. That our parents at the time, some of you probably wondered why your own parents were not rich. Now you are like a parent now. So you know why your parents were not as rich as Dangote. Because you are here now, you are not as rich as Zuckerberg. But a lot of us have to grow up. A lot of us have to raise our own siblings. A lot of us have to start like working side jobs just to help our family. At a very young age, we had to grow up so fast. But we didn't grow up into, we didn't grow up into going into prostitution. That's like extreme. It's like you are gone. Or going into armed robbery or other armed crimes. No. That was like extreme. Those who went into that, they're like, but these days, I don't think it is advisable. I mean, it is really plausible for me to be asking you parents, because some of you who are parents, or some parents that you have out there, they are no longer parents. They have become children to their own children, who are now the ones who are now funding the family. That's how the economy of Nigeria have changed. The table turned. So mama, papa can't say anything if their daughter is a war. Don't call me Ashewo. Don't call me Ashewo. I'm a businesswoman. Oh, I'm an escort. My sister, you be Ashewo. Okay. I know it is demeaning to call somebody Ashewo, but it's what we call the people who actually sell their bodies for money. There are Ashewo man, there are Ashewo woman. There is no, there is no Ashewo woman without an Ashewo man. It's a business, we understand. And it's demeaning too. But it is the oldest business in the world. Do you know that? Yeah, prostitution is the oldest job in the world. You have no idea how many times people have tried to use sex to pay for something. Oldest. I'm not making that up. It's true. But it is also demeaning. People do it discreetly, not anymore. Our young children in, teenagers, they are everywhere right now. So what are you bringing to the table? I need a serious man. I need a man that can take care of me, a man that can love me with tender love, the one that will take care of me and be there for me. And I say, oh, that's lovely. Tall, dark, handsome. I say, my sister, what are you bringing to the table? She says, what do you mean? Is this one not enough? Is this one not enough? Is my house not enough? What else do you want? I'm bringing you peace of mind. My sister, this thing will be peace of mind, though. Ask all the young men that are currently trying to make it right now out of this economic problem, right? But my sister, this is your house and this is your boobs, right? They are not peace of mind, though. They are really expensive to take care of. So somebody who, if you can't take care of them yourself, and you put that on somebody else's son, that is the products of the type of economy or the country that the policies of these guys are producing today. So I don't know if it is ideal to now advise the parents of such. And you see, what do you call it? Back in the days, right, when Yahoo was coming up, people were not proud to say they were Yahoo boys. They were not proud to be a Yahoo boys. I remember during the Korea-Japan World Cup, that was the time where you could go online, FIFA.com, and then you can just type in 16 digits number. Just make sure that it either starts with 5 or 4. So that the 5 will give you the MasterCard, the 4 will give you the Visa card. And then you can just go there and buy football, buy jersey. And surprisingly, FedEx will deliver them. I mean, if you grew up in a Lupeju, you understand what I'm talking about, right? But nobody was openly proud to be called a Yahoo boy, a fraudster. Because Yahoo boy, it's not Yahoo, it's practically like we knew it then as fraud, but it became something that, I'm gonna, so people would have to actually say they have a job. Some of the big shots of fraud that I know at the time, some of them put up real businesses to mask their fraud. They are not openly there bragging and say they are fraudsters. You don't want to be as worse as Nigeria might be at the time. Nobody was proud to come outside and say, even drug dealers, they were not proud to come out and say they are drug dealers. Not like today in Nigeria. You will see Yahoo guys or the fraudsters, right? These masters, right? They have laundry, a laundromat, right? A car wash, restaurant, a boutique, a car mat. You get that? Something to put forward to make them look like I'm a businessman, not like today. Well, today, you go to hear Pablo, Yahoo Pablo. Yahoo Pablo, that's the girlfriend of Pablo. Pablo is the Yahoo lord. The Mama Pablo, that is the Yahoo boy's mom. Daddy Pablo. Now they are even calling the wife of the girlfriend or the wife of Pablo, Pablet. Like everybody knows everywhere. They brag about it everywhere. They're like, and it is something. It is something that they believe has come to. Back in the days, or listen, 26 years ago, it was called 419. And I don't think, the moment you begin to live a lifestyle that people can easily tell and say, is either, they will say it's easily. They will say, you've either done money ritual, or you are an armed robber into crime, a drug dealer, possibly, or a 419. So none of this is something to be proud of. In order to mask all of this, you have to put up a business, not anymore in Nigeria. Not anymore, fortunately. EFCC will raid the supposed Yahoo boys. But the intention is not actually to to rehabilitate or stop them. No, it is to extort them. Those ones who are unable to pay the demanded bribe, now those ones, they carry billboard. Maiyegun General. Name, Maiyegun General. Crime, arrested for trying to steal $2 from an American. Age, 21. So, this one we say in face look like a 50-year-old man at 21 years old, EFCC. So then they will take my car, if I have car, they will take things, phones, everything like that. And then the court will say, okay, go to jail. And that's it. This is like a racket. Like people know those ones, they will say, these ones are big boys. So some of them then resorted into, instead of having businesses, so they resorted into record labels. Sure, you get like some of them who don't want to like show it off. Well, anyway, it is just to let you know the pandemic of what people are resorting into to survive in a contraption rather than face the criminals that push them to that that kind of chokehold, right? And don't kill anybody. If you disagree with people, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, please, any rage, whatever happens, any rage that will make you grab a knife and stab somebody. Maybe you want to scare them new, or you want to self-defense in self-defense. So don't put yourself in a situation. Ladies, never put yourself, I mean, let's look away from all of this now. This is me just trying to talk to you because of this, okay? So that you don't destroy your life completely. See, Nigeria is already rigged against you. Life is already rigged against you. If you are from Nigeria, let us be honest and be real, okay? So you may actually spend the first 30, 40 years of your life trying to equalize against life. The type of education they are giving to you in Nigeria is not the type that it's not the type that prepares you for the challenges that this world actually requires to survive anymore. So which means Nigeria is preparing you to be behind while the rest of your peers around the world are moving faster going forward, right? So you understanding that your education is doctored, your healthcare is compromised, your security is compromised, therefore your safety is compromised. You are living in a place where you can die anytime for no reason at all. Like for doing nothing, you didn't do anything wrong, okay? And anything can just happen, and you could be one of those bodies that people are now moving about and say, 65 people killed. That's what Nigeria is. So listen, and all of this is not your fault. It's not my fault. None of us asked them to burn us to inside that Nigeria. Or here we are. So you that is knowledgeable about that, this country where they bomb me, and the family where they bomb me, is already enough to show to me that I have to work harder than normal people. I have to work harder. I have to study harder. Everything you have to do in life, you have to do them extra than other people if you want to break the cycle. So think about that. And then think about what I'm about to tell you now. It is not the fault of it is not your fault that you were born in Nigeria and you are facing all of this. Here you are trying to see how you can put your head above water, okay? And just get something out of life for yourself. If you find yourself in any relationship at all, and you sense any assault, okay? The first option for you is to walk away. It is for your own good. Yes, your heart will break. Okay? But if your life breaks, you will live with a shattered soul forever. You see that kind of heartbreak, it's always mendable. You can mend that heart that is broken because of disappointment of love or whatever it is. If you face any assault anywhere, even if you are married, my dear sister, the best thing, because somebody is going to die. And in most cases, it's mostly the women. Any violence at all, Listen, I grew up during the time that they were telling women that the house of your husband's house is a school. Ilé ọkọ, ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ni. Everybody will test you. Everybody with this, everybody with that. You have to show that you came from very good home. Enduring abuse, enduring physical assault from anyone, and keeping quiet is not a sign of coming from a good home. Your husband's house is not school. It's not a school. Yes, it is an experience, but it is a shared experience. Anything, the moment you begin to sense assault, abuse, slap, I wish I knew this before now myself. Probably, I would have been even more like a better person than I am now, or before now. I grew up in an environment that it was like, the show of force and all of that is a sign of discipline or indiscipline. But what we have come to realize now is that in an abusive relationship, somebody is going to die. My sister, don't let that person be you. Somebody is going to die, and then somebody is going to become a murderer. So it's a two-way thing. It's a shared experience. I don't care what it is that could lead to anything. Sister, bruv, to you, yeah, men get angry and all of that, If you have by any means out of anger that you regret and slapped your wife or slapped your partner, or you said horrible things to your partner, right? We are all coming from a background where we felt all of that was normal. They are not normal. If you don't stop, you are going to become a murderer, and you're going to kill that woman, or she's going to kill you, and she will become the murderer, and you will become the murdered. Anytime you kind of get to that confrontational level, right? The ideal thing is always to walk away. It's going to be like, don't even try that. Don't fold. Don't squeeze that. Don't. You can squeeze it in your head. You can. And I think murder is still the same everywhere. There is no amount of punishment that's going to be meted at that partner that will bring back that loved one. So you can't save. Nigeria is too tough right now. People are going through a lot. This is the time that couples disrespect themselves. Emi Lombas, you know me, they talk to like that. Emi. Is it because the economy is hard? Is it because I'm kind of going through some hardship now? Is that why you are talking to me like that, my brother? That is why she's talking to you like that. But it is time for you to begin to kind of feel like, if Nigeria economy is going bad, right? Its intention is, it's intended to actually get you mad, frustrated, and do something stupid. So if you are the type that is chatty, please talk to your partners. Please. I get mad all the time. Wike makes me mad all the time. And it's not because I live in the UK, okay? It is something that I feel like when violence is introduced, right, into anything at all, there's always like, personal regret at the end of the day. I could have acted otherwise. Man, I could possibly have acted otherwise. Maybe if the scenario presents itself again, I wouldn't be that loud anymore. Even though you are likely going to be loud next time. But personally, walk out of any abusive relationship before you grab that knife and turn yourself to a murderer. Few people will believe you that you are defending yourself. Even if you have to show them all the bruises and all of that stuff, right? Trust me, you will still go down as a murderer. They say. Now let's go to Rivers State. Just a quick one. If you have been following the politics of the rivers of problems with the Wike and Fubara, You see those 26 House of Assembly members that decamped to APC, and their seats were declared vacant by the court. Excuse me. Another court has ruled today to say, well, they are still members of PDP. Listen to this confusion, right? This guy said they have decamped from PDP and they are now members of APC. They were paraded and they celebrated that. Tinubu confirmed that and said they are now in APC. I can't send them back. Okay, they declared their seats vacant. Then they said, no, we have not left PDP. We are still PDP. Then a court order came, a court judgment said, no, you've left PDP. You are no longer PDP. Therefore, you should not parade yourselves as lawmakers of Rivers State House of Assembly. So they went to court. Another court now ruled that, no, they are still members of PDP. What the hell is all this confusion? Somebody has something to say about that from Rivers State. PDP Rivers, I think. These guys are confused. It says, I've got no clue. Listen, I had audio on, but for some reason my audio just disappeared in that clip, right? That's shocking. I must have done it wrong, and I wanted you to listen to that. Okay, I'll work something out, okay? Meanwhile, here is what Rotifmi Amechi, the Ubima Judas Iscariot, has to say about Fubara. He said, Fubara is popular because he is fighting Wike. Nothing more. I don't even know what that means. Listen.
What Sim thinks his popularity today is because he's anti-Wike. I don't know that. That's his popularity. Not that, oh, Sim is the best man that can happen on earth and all that. No. It's because he's anti-Wike. What Sim thinks his popularity.
So what Sims calls popularity right now is because it's anti-Wike. And you know, Rotifmi Amechi is a veteran of this game too. And hang on though. It was indicted by Wike. He was indicted. Wike indicted him of stealing over 130 billion naira. The money that is believed to be used for, let me see. The money believed to be used for sponsoring Bokuwari Radda, sponsoring Bokuwari for president. Right? So I'm going to put that video back on. Listen, it's like the first few seconds of it, the audio was off. Then it later came back on. Let's see if it plays, okay? I am so sorry, but I'm saying that ahead, all right? I want you to listen to what he's saying. The first 40 seconds, there is no audio. I should have cut that off. Unfortunately, I didn't, okay? But just listen, right? For the rest of the clip.
There is the misleading news circulating in social media, print and electronic media, that Martins Amewule and 26 others are members of the People's Democratic Party and the Rivers State House of Assembly. As you all know, Martins Amewule and 26 others defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress on the 11th day of December 2023 and stated that much in affidavit evidence deposed to by Martin Samehule for himself and on behalf of 26 others in suit number FHC ABJ 1681 CS of the year 2023 before Honorable Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court Abuja Division. That suit is still pending in court. By section 2723 of the Constitution of the Federal Court as amended, it is only the Federal High Court that can determine whether Martin Samehule and 26 others are still members of the People's Democratic Party and also members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. This much was held by the trial court. However, you will recall that there is a subsisting order of interlocutory injunction in suit number PHC 1512 CS of the year 2024, restraining Martin Samehule and his co-travelers from further parading or presenting themselves as lawmakers in the Rivers State, pending the determination of the substantive suit, which has not been appealed against. That suit is still pending. We urge the public to disregard the news presently making the rounds in social, print, and electronic media to the effect that Martin Samehule and 26 others have been declared as members of the People's Democratic Party and the Rivers State House of Assembly.
So the conclusion continues. In a nutshell, we should just wish them luck while we keep a record of all of their shenanigans. People have a problem with memories in Nigeria, Stockholm syndrome. And that's why you have a Maiyegun's diary political. We can always keep the record. And whenever you want to, right? If you want to, you can always check it out and pick it up. So that's from where I'm going to draw in fact, not there, quickly. Well, again, I'm going to draw the curtains on that as well, right? The governor of Katsina State, that Radda guy, or Radda. So the guy came up and said, the reason why you are seeing the Fulani terrorism in Nigeria is because of the injustice that the Fulanis have suffered in Nigeria. The injustice of no education, no hospitals, no this, no that, blah, 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 blah. And because Nigeria is not caring for them, that is why the rest of Nigeria would have to pay what they are paying. Because that's exactly what the way I see it. Injustice against Fulani. Like, are you joking? Are you kidding? So injustice, who is that person responsible for the injustice against the Fulani in Nigeria? The Yorubas, the Igbos, the Middle Beltans, or who exactly? And then the poor people, the civilians that they are kidnapping and killing, the farms and lives they are destroying. Were those people who carried out the injustice against the Fulani? I'll tell you more about that some other time, okay? Sometimes it's not worth the whole stress, right? But it is better we state this because that's how they drive these narratives in those places. You've been in charge of Nigeria for decades, for donkey years. If there's any injustice that didn't provide education, healthcare, and all of that for the Fulanis, please, who is to be blamed? And why are the people the ones paying the price? Why? We shall go on another break right now. And when I get back, I will take calls. And that's up to you if you want to be part of that too.
70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Is that you?
good tongue. Thank you so much for still being there as we speak. So yeah, if you are still watching this and then you haven't really liked the broadcast, I urge you to, if you can, right now before the course starts rolling in, okay? So my line is opened and you can be part of this chat, whether through the WhatsApp or direct call. The number is right there on the screen. Use it. So I also have a moment to remind us, especially those of us who are the members of the Yoruba Union, you know, like as we are rounding up the preparation towards the August meet, there's a chance for you to not only to meet other like-minded people. You see, in the course of this advocacy, kind of like educating the people, where people have different sort of choices or different ideas of what they believe should be the way out or the solution, right? So whatever Nigeria is going through, because when the old center no longer hold, and everybody is going their different and separate ways. You see, a lot of us watching this program on this platform, or a lot of us who are probably on other platforms too, with your own version of what you think should be done in the face of this directionless country that these guys have made Nigeria. We need to take a lot of more steps that takes us away from our comfort zones, where you meet physically. There are things you can't say online. There are things you shouldn't say online if you genuinely have a plan that you have intention of carrying out. I do trust what I see than what I hear. And I, as a person, one of the things that has been like holding me back is from my experience dealing with the type of a contraption that you have like Nigeria way, right? You also have to be very careful of the people you are associating with, because not everyone that is condemning what is happening in Nigeria is actually condemning what is happening in Nigeria, or not everyone that is condemning what is happening in Nigeria is by any means, right, happy to want to stop it. And at those who just feel like, well, that's how it should be, that's how it is. Just pray to make your own, take advantage of it and make something for yourself from it. Nobody can save Nigeria, but that is inside. But outside, they continue to push that Nigeria can be saved and all that. So I am somebody who is always very careful. I have had my hands burned a few times for trusting people, because I just felt like we shared a lot in common online. And maybe we have something in common that we can, or we have a common enemy to face. But I do not want to fall, or should I say, I don't want to be somebody's fool or anyone's fool at all. And I do not want you to be anybody's fool as well. So I like what I see. And I swear to God, right? My last experience about trying to get involved in something to say we want to try to change something inside that contraption, right? It was when I actually had a physical contact, face-to-face seeing, face-to-face meet with a lot of the characters they were like, yeah, Maiyegun, God bless you, Maiyegun, this and that. And when I met them one-on-one, I realized that I've made a mistake. So I don't like making a mistake twice. That is why if all of us really want something different, we should begin to get ourselves engaged in physical meet. This is where you're going to see through people's eyes if they actually mean all they are saying, or they are just one of those chancers, hibernating with all of the opposing views and groups, so that they can use them to get an attention from the oppressors, the criminals there. And those are the visible, easily seen betrayers. So I would say, if you genuinely believe that it is doable to break our people from the shackles of this mental slavery, and I implore you to book your own ticket and come to Glasgow and meet other people like yourself, writers, publishers, journalists, researchers, educators, businessmen and women, you know, and then private people as well. Come, let's talk about what we think about Yoruba land and what we intend to do and how. Not just on social media like you are seated there watching me every day. No, I mean, you see, all the things we want to see happen, they are not going to happen by themselves. And I hope you are not probably expecting some other people to do what you think should be done. Like, our people should rise. Our people should rise together and work together, and let us break away from these people. You also have to rise. There is a price to pay. Everyone would have to sacrifice something. And if you can sacrifice your own presence, take a look at the comment section. You will see the link. The link to the Yoruba Summit in 2024. That's going to be in August, just about 2 months away. Let's go beyond just this talk here. Let's go into physical. Let's start putting the boots on the ground. Let's get real, right? I'm talking about those of you who are real. So if you're not one of those who is probably planning to be part of the summit, one way or the other, there's no point in you coming here, picking up your phone and telling us that, Maiyegun, we need to do something. Now we're asking you to let us do something, because nobody is going to do it for us. Like I said, there are so many things I would possibly love to tell you that I've been thinking in my head that they are not really good for public consumption, if we are being honest, and not just chasing clouds. You know, there are those who enjoy saying, I'm not that kind of a person. So I would say we have been in touch. So many of us who feel like something should be done beyond here. You can be part of that too. Let me take this, sorry. Hello. I'm so sorry that I had to keep you there dialing and dialing. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Sorry, who is this?
It's me, Osas, longest time.
Who is this?
My name is Osas. I'm calling from Spain.
God bless you. You know why I'm saying that, Osas, right?
Yeah.
It's becoming so awkward lately, right? Because it's like many people expect me to just know who is, you know, and most of the time, trying to get a voice and trying to get, it's becoming awkward, kind of. So please, if you call me, do me that favor and say, this is the African Wildlife calling, then I can follow up with all other things. Oh, this is the charm calling. It does us a good bit of a favor, okay? But Osas, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. You know, I've almost let go of all this Nigeria issue. I just decided I've studied, I've bring my head down to study what is going on. You know, when they are talking about revolution and all that, I've come to realize that the only way the revolution will take place is through the government. It's just like all the Southwest if it's the governors that are in one zone that are planning for it, it will be easier for government to sit together to talk about it.
They have the authority and the resources.
Yeah.
And all they need is just to pretend that they are representing the millions of people and rally them on. But they won't do it because they will be the losers.
Yeah, and that is why maybe if you not come to check it, you see that when we talk about disobedience, they have come to realize that the only way is to put the right people in the positions that will help them if they want to bring that change. Those are the people that will help them to bring the change. But having these selfish people that only cares about themselves, there is no way that change is going to come.
No.
That's why they are fighting the system. Look, they need the help of everybody to be able to make that happen. Because if we say we have to come out, the same thing will keep happening. We can't fight them by ourselves. It's only the government that can fight the government.
Right, right. Those who have the resources, so to say. But there is actually government fighting government that has been going on, and that is like them trying to break themselves because of their own power. You know what have you? But you're still going to need the people that are going to understand when the time is right and charge in when they are more weaker. But I do get your thoughts, though, you know. Sounds.
Yeah, because that's what I'm expecting. Because once it happens, you know, that when the obedience was so pushed concerning Peter, they know that is the only one that we allow such things to happen, that will give room to opinion and see what need to be done, what is the right thing to be done. Is the only one that cares about maybe that has there that we don't want any kind of destruction or sacrifice or things like that. So I bet the problem is those in the system already know the kind of person he is. So at times they will use those that we think that are good to be fighting him. But at the end, we'll now find out that those people that we were thinking these people are good, disobedient and Peter has come to open the eyes of so many people that this person that we think is fighting for us is not really fighting for us.
They all feel threatened, including those that usually speak against a bad government. Suddenly, they are not. And Obi is a threat. I mean, I've been seeing Shore's tantrum since yesterday. And I've actually kept I've been like looking away like, man, we can no longer, Shore is gone, we can no longer help Shore. It's unfortunate. But people were asking, what is actually the base for all of this? If those who are destroying Nigeria, if they are afraid of Obi and his obedience, and the oppositions who says the ones in government are supposed to be punished, never to be given power, they too are afraid of Obi. And everybody's kind of like, man, what the hell is going on?
It's just so crazy because when I see things like that, even when people think that this person cannot be bought, that's when they show themselves. If not see that there are so many things that's not coming out about it. That's one thing about disobedience that is so surprising. That what people does not know about society people, they can bring it that even if you are arguing it, they'll bring out the proof.
Anyway, we'll see how it plays out at the end of it all. Okay. So thank you so much.
We just only this. I don't know. I believe that maybe they have to come with new party because what is also happening in Labour Party now is kind of they are not even fighting the obedient and obey. I don't understand.
It's part of the whole confusion of a thing, and then it's. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it, so to say, right? Because it could be like say some will say na juju. I mean na juju that they use for all of them. I mean, which they worry all these guys. Let me take another one.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
God bless you. So I have another caller on the line. Yeah. Hello.
Hey, hello, Maiyegun. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening to you, sir. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, Maiyegun, thank you very much. This is Austin again from London.
That's Austin from London. God bless you, Baba. Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I've been listening to you, and every day I get really, really carried away with you, my friend. You're doing a very good work. You're just yesterday I saw you as a priest. You know, the Sunday sermon.
Thank you.
You preach very well. Thank you very much. I really loved it.
I know. Thanks a lot, sir. Austin, God bless you. Please.
Huh?
Go on. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, sorry. I called in to say the last caller talked about government fighting government. I don't know if I misunderstood him. If he was talking about the state government standing against the federal government, that's not going to work.
It's not.
You know, that would not work, because you see these people, they are in a gang, and the gang has they have a strata. You have from the federal government, the ministers, then the House of Assembly, you know, the Akpapiolites and all that. You know, they're a team. You know, they know what is happening.
They are not called establishments for nothing. And it's actually a very bigger scope of cabal kind of a thing. And you are so right. Anybody thinking a fraction of that is going to fight the other, that's so impossible.
You see, the point is, what they don't understand, from a bystander, from a third party, someone walking and looking from inside, outside in, they're just a bunch of deluded fools who don't understand what they're doing. It's just like a child. You know, you have to guard the child not to put their hands in the fire. You have to guard the child, you know, to remove the pampers when they wet themselves. That is who these politicians are. Every day they come up and then they talk, they run around, they buy car and all this. These are all children talks, children behavior that you don't know. Like traditionally, I don't know if it cuts across. I know that from my language or from my culture, there's a thing that say that when the sheep is put in a pen, sheep pen, and then the sheep decide to say, oh, you know, I'm going to punish my owner. I'm going to shit and pee inside because he's going to clean it up. But what the sheep does not understand, the owner can just stand by and keep throwing food in. You're going to put food there, you're going to pee there, and you're going to eat your food in there. That's what these fools are doing. They're destroying the country, thinking that they've built houses and everything outside in another man's country, and it's going to end. And we all know, right from the days of, remember the days of Midland Bank fiasco, Murtala, Mohammed, all those there, they were stealing money through Midland Bank and all that. Do you know, most of all these military people who stole Nigeria's money and bought homes in England, and all, they lost it. Most of the house went back to the council because after the money evaporated, they can't manage the houses.
Manage those properties. You're right.
They can't manage the houses. They can't pay council tax, and then it becomes, you know, a liability. The council takes them out and then give it to council tenants. Expensive houses, I'm telling you. So this is how these fools are running around thinking that they are doing something they're enjoying. They're not enjoying.
No, they're not.
Every Nigerian, let me tell you something that they don't understand. Every Nigerian, whether it is that guy called, what's his name? The guy who built a refinery, that guy, that privileged, that welfare guy, that guy is on welfare on our money. Yes. He's not a businessman. You understand? He's on welfare. So from him down to the least downfall conductor, they are equal.
The MC
is as good as that.
Yes, sir. You know what? I told people, I said, if you look at what the quota system in Nigeria, how it works, okay, it's a place where you have billionaires without any real enterprises, nothing they are not producing anything, but they are billionaires and billionaires and billionaires, because Nigeria is a place where somebody with nothing, no experience, no real knowledge, no nothing, right? Just because of their proximity or their closeness to government, they could become multi-billionaires. And then you will now see educated people that will surround him, right? And they will begin to project him as if to say he is a don. Like, you know what I mean? Because it is Nigeria. Yeah. It is Nigeria. It is all popped up. They lack substance.
That's the
thing. Go on.
Exactly. That's the problem. So if Dangote, if he blindfolds himself, and then the downfall driver on the streets of Lagos blindfold himself, they both hold their Nigerian passport, go to the airport, and arrive at Heathrow. or in Godalia, or I mean, in any airport, let me put it that way, outside, they're the same. They are Nigerians. Yeah. Nobody's going to ask them, are you Dangote? How much money do you have? They will be treated exactly the same way. So Dangote is fooling himself. You understand? Yeah, I think the most deluded, stupid human beings are concentrated in Nigeria, and they're all over the place. Now, let me tell you something. What really upset me, well, I heard this. There's a guy called Tietie. He's a lawyer, I think. Tietie.
Right.
He went on a rant.
Is she a lawyer? I think she's a content creator as well.
No, he's a lawyer. I think he's a lawyer. I've seen him a few times on a rise. He shows up on a rise. And initially, I thought
a different person there. Please go on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Initially, I thought he's one of those cerebral human beings you can find time to listen to and have confidence and hope that you're from a country. Nigeria. But I listened to him. You know what? Yeah, you know what he did? What? You know what he did? Because Tinubu and his gang are trying to blindfold and play the games they played with ASU when Buhari was leaving. They knew they were going to play games with these people. Now, what they want to do, because they are not going to do what they're supposed to do, they want to start branding them as terrorists.
Yes.
They started bringing terrorism around this, you don't have to turn the power off, you don't have to block the airport, this is all terrorism. This fool, I'm sorry to call him a fool, I'm at least anyone listening, I apologize for using that word because I'm upset with this guy. He's supposed to be a lawyer. He came on studio and was arguing that the trade union people will be committing terrorism offense for shutting down the power. What is the power? Do we have power in the first place? Do I have roads in the first place? What is the airport?
Like that just a week ago, that as part of what they are going to push, if these labor guys don't take what they are offering them, is to begin to blacklist them, okay? And then push a propaganda that says they are enemies of the people, enemies of Nigeria. Remember when they were saying they have other 200 million people to care for? Remember that they cannot just go and all of these are already premeditated. Wait for what's going to happen from tomorrow. We'll see.
No, but what really upsets me is all these people who claim, some people claim they have PhD at 24 or 34, whatever, they have all sorts of nonsense. I remember, during the election, after the election, when they were talking about Tinubu's certificate issues, it's all over the place. We went to, Obi was saying that, look, this man should come and address the nation. Some guy, apathy they call it, decided to deride Obi to say that Obi is seeking attention. This man is saying that, look, this is a president, you people are talking about you. Come and tell the people what the story is about.
Yeah, speak to people and tell them what they're asking, yeah?
Exactly. So my question is, people like the Sams, the TT or whatever they call him, the Abati and all those people who are defending. Look, I left Twitter. I suspended my Twitter account because of Daniel Buala. You understand? Because when he came on and started supporting APC, he's not even keeping quiet. That guy don't have a parent. If his parent, if they are alive, you'd be very ashamed of him. Then Ebola is not a human being. It's just something. I just left because I don't want to get into that fight where they would, because he reported me. I call him Danny Boy. Danny Boy. That guy is Danny Boy. Danny Ebola is a Danny Boy. He's one of those slaves, him and that little goat, what's his name? Reno Mokri and all that. I don't care about those. And I respect you, Maiyegun. I respect you. You don't talk about Reno Mokri. You don't waste your time on these people.
Yeah, except when the only time I speak, I kind of talk about him, Austin, is that when I see any of one of his tantrums that is tribally and then ethnically laced, when they drive to try to tag the obedient, tribal this and that. And when that comes from him, that will get my attention, just like from anybody else. Like people who are horrible, pushing the agenda that is not true and pushing it enough to want to make it real. So somebody like me will speak. But apart from that, I do not think it is worth our time, ever. So to be safe.
Yeah. All right. Michael, sorry, I think I'm taking your time. Just one last point.
Yeah.
One last point. Quickly. I'm from River State.
Please.
And I was listening to you. You played a short video of Amechi. I think I saw that video. I did not listen to it because I don't waste my time with people who would have no cerebral intelligence to understand that when you destroy a field, you will come back to look for food. You understand? Because it's the field that provides the food. You don't destroy it because you have a lot of yam in your barn, because the yam will run out. Yam don't fall from heaven. You have to sustain it. That's what they call sustainability. Government is about sustaining what you have so that it will continue to keep you going. That's sustainability. These people don't understand anything. He is talking about FOBRA. FOBRA is popular because he's fighting. Look, can you imagine somebody? That guy has been a governor 2 times. He has been the speaker 2 times. He has been minister 2 times. And look at the way he's speaking.
Yes.
Now, do you imagine? Can you imagine people when you talk? People will say, "Oh, you don't insult you." Personally, I don't agree with people that much. People who know me that I'm not very, very easy person to deal with.
Sure.
Because I look at this whole nonsense and I speak my mind. I say it the way it is.
As it should be.
You understand?
You know what they told me about?
So it's not a mess.
About Rotif Mirai is they said that video, that short clip where he sat down there like that and he was talking like that, right? They said in River State that there are some young people that is such a big dream come true, to find themselves in the midst of politicians, right? That are just like talking about their, talking freely like that. Because according to them, Amechi was gisting us. So they can sit and be like, really? Oh my God. Just being in that room, even if the person that is gisting them has successfully looted them blind. They are just
they are all a bunch of Pampers wearing folks thinking that they are putting on the summer shirts. They are putting on Pampers and the Pampers are wet. So Maiyegun, thank you so much for your work. I keep listening to you and I really love the way you're going. I love your courage, your boldness. And frankly, before I go, the older people you said, they are small, foolish, thieves, pickpockets who became older people.
You get that.
And they are showing some of them.
God bless. And you know something is that they don't like us telling them the truth about it. They won't stop. Mommy, thank you so much, man.
The moment Nigerians, most of those people start to like you, know you're doing the wrong thing. Thank you, Maiyegun.
I know that too. Thank you very much. That is so true. Okay. The moment you see the one Nigerianist, the moment you begin to see the ruiners of Nigeria, once they begin to praise you, just know that you are finished. Okay? If you, by any chance, start seeing all this APC, and they start saying, thank you, Jare Maiyegun. God bless you, Maiyegun. Maiyegun, you are saying the truth. I'm not saying any truth, though. That means muti law niye. I've seen that happen many times. And there are so many people that have fallen on this slippery slope. I have always been very standing anyway, because I do not need conditional sort of a support, the one that will make you see black and call it white. How would you even like sleep, knowing that you are helping the rogues in Nigeria to further their own project of enslaving others? Like, who told you are still not a slave doing that? I'm grateful to God for my life anyway. So yeah. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, ma. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well too, thank you. And this is?
It's Charm.
That's our lady, Charm.
I must give you my full name.
I know, thank you. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for the work that you do. As always, fantastic. I don't like to call it a show.
We call it a session because it's like everybody comes here for their therapy anyway. Like it's like a therapy. You just come here for that session, and I'm going to be on the session, the evening session. I call it I mean, I call it a session anyway, but it's up to you, John.
I agree. So thank you for this session. Fantastic as always. And just like the previous caller, I listened to yesterday's Sunday sermon and all that. Awesome. The information that you're putting out there. And I think it's just for our own. I don't know how people synthesize and process what it is that you are putting out there, and everything, but it surely makes me think. And if that's the only thing, it does make me think about Nigeria, think about the future, think about my children, think about their own progress and their own prosperity as well.
Because you know what, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Look at all those 26 years ago story I shared yesterday. And look at today. Could you not tell the similarity? It's like,
listen, it's like it's like the same thing. Recycling the same
thing without YouTube and Twitter.
But the thing that made it more, how will I put it, more real for people was when you said subtract 26 years from your age, right, and then. Let us know how old you were.
You were then.
Then. And a lot of us were just, children.
I saw the comment. It's like everybody just dropped down there like, what? I never thought of that.
Because
then add 26 years to your current age.
Your current age.
And see what they're about to take from you again.
Most of us will be old. Right? And then not even the energy to even go after these people. That's when you really say, okay, you know what, it's left for the people behind. Right? But I think that this is a critical moment. And I'm always saying it. A lot of people say, oh yes, the youth. No, it's not about the youth. It's not a fight just for the youth. It's actually a fight for all of us. Right? Even if you feel like, you don't have a stake or whatever, like you're not as young or whatever, you have a family and everything. Think about the world.
Like you have nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose, but we all have something to lose. And I always say this thing about, a lot of us who are not in Nigeria, we call it, the diaspora and everything. I will always tell people to remember Windrush. And I know you know about Windrush, right? These people knew exactly when those people from Windrush came into that country. Right? They knew the date, they knew the time, they knew the month. So it was easy for them to say, you know what, we need X amount of people gone from our country. Let's not forget that all of us have passports. All of us have entry dates into all of these countries, right? They know exactly when you got there. So if 1 million immigrants are a problem for them, they know exactly what date to start saying, you know what, we need such and such people to be gone.
Yes.
And that's problem solved for them. Just in case, you fold your arms and think, oh, it can't happen to me. It surely well can happen to you. When you think it can happen to you, remember Windrush, and it happened to them. So that is really for us in the diaspora.
That's a very, very good one there. Windrush. It is one tragedy. It's like a tragic history you just mentioned there. People who were brought to this country to come and build the subways that we all travel in London today. And their parents were promised citizenship. And somebody just woke up and cancelled it and said they should be returned back. Like, exactly, you slept yesterday as British. And you woke up this morning as a Jamaican who has to return back to Jamaica.
Who has to return back to Jamaica.
And it happened. Yes.
And it happened. It happened. And, in as much as people kicked up a fuss, there was a lot of articles in the news and everything. At the end of the day, these people went, most of them went back. At the end of the day, most of them went back. So just, I always put it there, just for anybody who thinks, okay, I'm diaspora, I'm out of the country, I'm #blessed.
I don't get my pali, I don't get my red passport, I don't care anymore. That country, I don't give a damn. My dear brothers and sisters, right? When they will knock at your door, you will be too old to fight them. You just have to join and just go.
So the battle for the emancipation of that region, because I don't want to say the battle for Nigeria. I no longer believe in that entity called Nigeria. I feel like You know, like we've always said, that these are a couple of nations that were coupled together and shouldn't have been coupled together. But I also want people to begin to understand that we have a bigger fight to fight. Right. I was listening. I don't know how many people on the platform listen to David today. I also listen to his YouTube channel every once in a while. And I know that there was one he posted yesterday regarding African leaders and everything. And the part that caught me, and I said that, you know what, I must call into Maiyegun today to actually share with people, was that the IMF, the World Bank, and all of those people, at some point or the other in the history of the Ethiopian Airlines had called them to say to them that they should actually, you know, desist from actually running that business because they didn't have any business being in that particular line of business, basically. And they also said to, apparently, there was a meeting they had with a lot of the university lecturers, you know, vice chancellors of universities, and said to them that, you know, Africa doesn't need this level of education, right? So there's so they should shut down their universities, basically. I mean, I'm not quoting verbatim. If anyone wants to really hear what David said, you need to go
I can give more a bit of add a few more context to that. Okay, it is true. All right. In fact, there is already verified a program where some of the universities in Africa, they are being sponsored. Okay. To start promoting the GMOs, or those genetic modified food like that, right? And also some of the health centers, they are already, in fact, there's some established, fact that they are already sterilizing women in Africa, okay? Through some of the support they are giving to them in order to reduce the reproduction rate in Africa. That is true. But Africa and Africans have always been like the guinea pig in the lab of all these people anyway. We've always been vulnerable because we have weak men directing our affair. But all those things are true. Raising the alarm now maybe will probably give it more awareness, charm, but it's true.
Yes, it will give it more awareness. But I think what I want people to understand is the depth of the problems that we are facing, not just the decoupling of the entity called Nigeria, but also the we have to fight back as Black people, because these people don't have any regard for us in terms of our intellectuality or anything. Their hope and aspiration for us is to remain subservient so that they can steal the resources. A lot of people who think that the resources are not a factor here, I don't know what planet you're living in. Practically the whole world is living off of the resources of Africa, because they know that once you have an educated Africa, an intellectual Africa that they have to deal with, right? They know that they cannot be getting any of our things for free, and most likely never even get anything from us to start off with, because again, it's not just us using our resources, to be our resources for our own use, right? So that before it gets to them, at the end of the day, they're probably buying, you know, the end product, right? We're not giving them raw materials. So even if they're going to get raw materials from us, they'll have to
use
pay
it in Africa, exactly.
They'll have to use it in Africa, or
produce it in Africa and take it to your countries.
And take it to your country, all right? Or you have to pay, extortionary rates for those materials, right?
That's it.
So, so a lot of the time.
So we need men with spine. We need women with hearts. Men with spine, women with hearts, to take over leadership at every small corner that you can. That's why I'm encouraging a lot of people to join us in Glasgow. See, Cham, right?
Yeah.
Some people have to do what we are talking about here all the time. You know that? Like, we are not going to keep giving all these ideas and expecting those who are benefiting from a destructive place they are building there, right, to take our ideas. It is time to encourage people. And in fact, to put resources behind people to go in there and make that happen.
And make those changes, you know? Just one last thing, because I think other people want to call in.
Sure.
So the lady who was maltreated by her boyfriend, husband, or whatever, I empathize with her, but I also don't empathize with her, because there are certain things she said in there that were just ridiculous. She said things like God blessed him with money, and I was like, are you okay? You stole from somebody. I said God bless you. How is it that God is blessing you with with stolen goods. This is the problem we have in Nigeria, is that, you know, there's no understanding of what it is that is even coming out of their mouth. It doesn't make any kind of sense, but yet you're putting it out there. Now, we've always said here on this platform that a lot of the problems we have are the fact that the general population of Nigerians are waiting for their own turn.
Enablers,
right
now.
Yes,
they are like the reflection of their leaders, no doubt.
They are the reflection of their leaders. So the change that we want to see is us waking up, each and every one of us waking up in the morning and saying, you know what, let me be the change that I want our leaders to be that I want our leaders to be. If you can't be that change that you want your leaders to be, then we still have a problem. That means Maiyegun is not communicating.
I know.
Okay, so if you're sitting down somewhere and you're saying, oh, you know, God is blessing you with stolen property, you have a mental problem.
Yes.
Okay. So generally, what I want to say finally is that let us start to be the change that we want our leaders to be. That's one. Because not only do we have to fight our leaders, we have to fight the global, you know, forces as well, which are against the continent.
That's so beautiful, Charm. I love that. Thank you so much, right, for that.
Thank you, Maiyegun.
To everybody. So that's our lady there, Charm, as brilliant and as beautifully submitted as ever. Okay, you need to begin to see what you think you would do, that if it becomes public, it is going to bring you shame. It is going to bring you so much, including sorrow, like cry. Why do it? Why do it? Elder, hello. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, maybe I lost him. Unfortunately, so sorry. Now that I take another one is when Elder spoke. I had him on the waiting and he's been there forever. Okay, I have another caller. Hello there.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Maiyegun General. I'm good. You?
Baba. Who is this?
This is Ken from California.
It is Ken from California. Ken from Cali.
Yes,
how are you today, sir?
Good, you?
Well, very well. I'm here. Thank you.
How is the family?
We thank God, sir. We can't complain.
Good.
Thank you so much. Please.
Yeah, my brother. You know, in the past, I've given analysis in terms of Nigeria hunger. And long ago, within the two people, after a while, people let the water for it further and that. You know, the thing is, with all the things that are going on and listening to you, recently we have come to a conclusion that Nigerians cannot be saved. Nigeria as a country cannot be saved. And it doesn't look like people will get up anytime soon and revolt and do the right thing.
It's not looking
I've completely lost faith in that entity. You get my point?
I do.
So I've had, at some point, I had a little bit of, you know, faith that, hey, people, when hungry, don't carry them in certain stage. Then go get up, begin to fight their oppressor. But with what I'm saying, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't know. And it's very depressing just sitting down and holding my hand and watching this thing. You know what I mean?
It is like people are complaining so much, but at the same time, they appear so helpless. And you are wondering why, you know?
So I don't know, because you know, recently I will tell you something that happened. I got traumatized by that situation. My wife's family member, they grew up together. It's like a family. They grew up in the same household. The guy lives in Ibadan, at Okuta. All of a sudden, the guy called us from nowhere. He needed help. He was crying that his daughter got admitted in the hospital, and they don't even have money to put her in the hospital. So we tried to take the case off and try to do whatever we can to help. And eventually, this little girl died. And when my wife told me what happened, because I was asking them what did they diagnose her with, what was the problem? They said she had meningitis. And meningitis is terrible. Yeah, meningitis is terrible. Nobody should be dying of meningitis. Because the thing is, if you find out early, you can cure it just by using antibiotics. You get my point?
I do.
And this little girl died from this particular illness because she's 16 months old. And I was shedding tears about the situation. And you know the statement the dad made?
What?
My daughter died because of my poverty.
That is going to be, it's like a life trauma for somebody like that. Just come out and be like, you know, I lost my daughter because I'm poor. No, nothing else.
Yes, nothing else killed that child. It's just poverty, because he said he found out the problem, but there was no money to even take care of the problem. So he was just trying any way he can to try to see if there's a way to fix it. But before
do you know that a lot of people, right? A lot of people are like, who consider themselves as elites, kind of like those who earn better than those who think should be earning minimum wage and the rest of that, right? Sometimes when they hear the story about people dying or children dying because of 5,000 naira, because of 10,000 naira medication, right? Some of them feels like it is exaggerated. Is that possible? And I do really wish that people go to those hospitals, those general hospitals, those orthopedic hospitals, go and look at the victims of the accident. Go and look at the victims of child mortality. Where, you know, go out there and see what people are passing through because of peanuts that could save their lives, but they still lost it.
So my brother, I was traumatized because I have a two-year-old at home, and I was looking at the picture and saying, imagine having a child and you can't even do anything about taking care of this baby because you are poor and you have no access to funds. And the hospital will never accept that baby. If it's in the West, they will do whatever. They will take care of that child first, and they will send you a bill. At the same time, they will the bill. You get my point?
You feel the waka about and say, I'm in debt. Why are you in debt? Or it was because I called the ambulance and then they took my daughter to the care and I didn't have health insurance. So now I'm in debt of $4,000. Say, oh, we thought American take care. Say, well, they will still take care, but you pay the debt. Or they will take care of you first. Not in that place.
Of course. I mean, even some cases, they will even waive even if you owe the hospital, they waive the money at some point.
At some point, exactly. Now, if you push and say, oh, I don't get money, say, I don't get money, say. At some point, they feel right up the off self or give you, like, but they will still take care of that you. Not in that place.
So, my brother, the situation is bad. And I was telling a friend recently that he's in Nigeria. I'm like, at your age now, you calculate in the next 10, 15 years, 20 years. You be at the retirement age. Even the ones who don't retire now for Nigeria, they stay there. Then if you retire because you don't even have a job, there's no safety net.
There's no safety net, exactly. There's no 401k or what do you call it in the US. There's nothing to fall back on. People are actually just barely existing in that place. So
so how are these people going to survive the next 20 years? The people that will get old. There's no work because in the past 20, 30 years, they've not been productive, no job to hire them. No, nothing at all. Then how will the country deal with this issue? And this security today, National Assembly, they talk about national anthem. For all I care, then we then go carry portable song, brotherhood.
No, nobody just say do Zazu. Zazu, hey, Zazu. That one can be a national anthem. And a lot of people would actually agree to sing that too, instead of this one.
And then they argue about cows being citizens. I don't understand it. Instead of the important things they're supposed to be talking about. So, my brother, I will leave you at that, man.
God bless you, Ken. Thank you. I know. God bless you so much. We'll keep pushing it out there, and we'll continue to let those who probably have any chance of making a difference in their way do it now. If all of us carry our own, before we come. Thank you so much, Ken. That's pretty much it, right? Sometimes you have to sit down and ask yourself and be like, are these guys human beings or not? So when Austin called them, they are just a bunch of toddlers, okay? Toddlers who have no idea of what they are doing, right? Here is, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. That's Elder Akinola. I know you. How are you this afternoon or evening, sir?
Thank you, General.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for what you do.
Thank you.
We can't thank you enough for how you're liberating the people's mind. If revolution is going to happen, it's going to start from inside every one of us.
God bless you.
Revolution, you don't just do revolution on the street. It will start from inside of us. And that is a good job you are doing, General.
Thank you, sir.
And please, we'll continue to do this. Few things I need to get out there today is, we have been having this debate around minimum wage and all that. I think the debate we are having, I don't think is the right debate in essence. It should be, the debate should be about the how much the senator get paid relative to the minimum wage. Now, or the governor, or even the president too. You look at places like New York, for example, the minimum wage there is about $16 per hour. And if a normal person, usually you work about 40 hours. There's no way that the governor of New York, who get paid about $250,000 per year, is going to make times 10 of minimum wage in New York.
No way.
You go to Maine. Maine is the cheapest governor in America. He earns about $70,000 per annum. And the minimum wage in Maine, the state of Maine, is about $14.50. There is no how the governor of Maine is going to make more than 3 times minimum wage if you capture the minimum wage. Yeah, as for making working 40 hours per week. So what's the point here? The point here is that when we can bring this senator and salary in relative to the minimum wage, then it's going to be easier for them to be able to pass appropriate law that bring common people to the level of what they are earning. House for 100,000 today. Once they devaluate your naira, they increase their own salary. Your situation is never going to change.
It's never going to change.
So, but if they are making law such that a minimum wage also dictates how much they to take home, then everybody will focus on how to get everybody better. That is the first point that I believe people should start making this debate this way. Not just asking, pay me 200,000. If they devaluate that 200,000, so that 5,000 naira is equal to $1, that 200,000 will not buy loaf of bread for you. I can tell you that. Go and ask what happened in Zimbabwe.
Yes, and nobody should think it's impossible. It's already happening. Already.
Everybody were carrying millions of Zimbabwe money.
Yes.
And they were suffering. So if you believe bigger money is what is going to solve it, think twice. We have to bring the senator and the governor and the president to the multiple of the minimum wage. Nothing, maybe the president 10 times minimum wage. Maybe senator 8 times minimum wage. Then you start to see that everybody will be fully aligned. That is the first point. Yes, the second point, when you see all this labor, you see them, people saying hello, this and that, they keep fighting, keep fighting.
Yeah, like keep on, no, don't stop, don't give up, don't fold.
Let Tinubu call one of them, their labor leader, and say that why can't you come and become a minister of labor? The same man that is fighting government today will be the one telling you, is this labor, they are always too much self. They are always too much
explaining to us what government is doing and how labor is enemy of the people too. So,
Oshiomhole I've attended his rally when he was labor leader in Akure before, and the way it was wearing his conductor, that's brown conductor with his eye like toads. Shouting with the top of his voice, with his
sweating, all the muscle on his head, and all of that with his big eyes. Oshiomhole, no go better for you. I was one of those people that actually felt like Nigeria. Nigeria should be led by Oshiomhole. That not this person supposed to be president. And this kind of person, this one love us too much, but they will never allow this person to be president. I didn't know I was a fool, believing the lie.
You would think this man loves Nigeria. No, he loves his pocket. And if you see any of them today and you think they are doing you good, forget about it. Ask them. We are not looking for how much raise let us tie everybody together. If everybody is going to be poor, let the senator, let the House of Rep member, let the governor, let everybody, every one of us be poor together. If you're going to be rich and you're going to make us poor, you know, ask for the right question, not just increase in money and all that. And part of the problem, like we have rightly said, is that we don't love ourselves. You know, I had my first degree in Port Harcourt, and the ASU chairman who was fighting government at the time was made commissioner of education. And it was the same person that was saying, this ASU, they own too much. Or now only we go give all the money for this state. You can imagine that kind of thing. So we don't love ourselves. When you see people pontificating and telling you how much they like you, just don't fall for it.
Don't.
Ask for facts.
Just tell them to prove it. And now it is when you tell them to prove it that the story will start.
Yeah. I will rub some feather today, a little bit. I will not go too much deep because I go on the path of my obedience. You know, we now see a situation where Obi and Atiku are coming together. They are all laughing and want to form coalition and all that kind of stuff.
To save Nigeria, I see how to rescue Nigeria.
To rescue Nigeria. Forget about those people. They invite somebody. I think there was this interview that Maiyegun General said about. He cannot be part of them, and based on his principle and all that. And I saw some obedient coming to criticize. Nobody call yourself. Nobody call yourself. No, my brother, you have to understand. Atiku and Obi and all these people cannot come together. What they are trading is your future. They are trading your future.
That's right.
That's what they are trading. Give me this, I give you that. Give me that, and I give you this. It is your future that they are trading. Until we are ready to make a stand and say enough is enough. This is one of the reasons they didn't like Awolowo. I'm happy that we actually reference Awolowo today. Awolowo will not promise what he will not deliver. You know, when he was in London and they asked him question if he's going to maintain coin interest in Nigeria, he boldly replied, do you want another Awolowo presidency in a British colony? Let a politician be disciplined to stand on principle. A man like Atiku will never represent the interests of the youth.
Never.
It's either we stand for the truth or we deceive ourselves. All this, us trading this to stop. Your future is what is being traded in this arrangement. Reject them. Anybody that you believe is corrupt, only if we support this person, he will support my person, and my person will get there.
You know, like it's only my way or no way.
Reject them. Reject them. Let the youth come together. More than 50% of the electorate, in fact, 70% of electorate in Nigeria are youth. If we can come together, we can show this guy the way out. Don't compromise your stand. Don't compromise your principles.
Don't let them use you to bring the criminals who are currently hibernating out of power. Bring them back to power. They will do they will do worse than what they did to you before, and Obi won't stop them.
And that is the truth. So
it's the truth. It's just that the way Shege was going about it, he was making it more ridiculous. Sure, you get. It was like even those who were like his own guys, right? They were like, listen, you are taking this thing more or less like holding these guys responsible for whatever is going on in Nigeria right now. And that is so unnecessary, okay? Now, if you can take a dig at yourselves, right? That's all right. But the way you are actually going about it, right, is like, man, Esa, Shore said obedient are dangerous people, right? Who beat opposition up. I never expected that from him. I swear. But again, it is what it is, right? Elder, thank you so much.
Look at you before we leave. Look at Donyo Kupe. It was being praised. Donyo Kupe,
when he was misleading them, lying to them.
All these are vampires, and they are waiting to suck your blood, in essence. Don't give them a chance. If you don't know them, you don't trust them, don't excuse them out and say, let's see what it's going to do. Let's come together as the youth with a common united front and fight for our future and fight for a new Nigeria together. Thank you very much, General.
Elder Akinola, God bless you tonight. You have a wonderful week, sir. If we ever speak again anyway. Go on. Thank you, sir. So that's Elder Akinola there. Is one of the veterans on this platform. Because I am, as like I told you, right, I may not agree with a lot of a group, okay, including the change in Showore, who has made it clear that he would never, ever, ever want to have anything to do with the obedient, and you trust them, right? They're there to fire him. And Showore has his own guys too, who will never stop, right? Firing Obi and the obedient. I see them on Twitter all the time. And as they are tearing themselves apart. But you know me, I'm Maiyegun. And I see all of this. I see all this group. I see everyone trying to say our own is, we are the ones who have the solution. See, we are the ones who can fix this. Oh, we are this or that. So, because I also have my own solution. And my solution is to break up the contraption. You see? And you have those who are here too, whose own solution is to break up the establishment and establish their own ideal kind of government. Everybody is trying to say they are the best or not. But you know why I never really pick Showore's attitude and all those guys as a major thing here? We are not going to batch Showore on this platform. That is like a sacred. You understand that? I know a lot of you have different feelings, especially these days, that if you want to get people upset, right? If you want to get Showore supporters upset, just go and abuse him and call him anything. It doesn't matter if you are just saying all those things because you are hot or you are angry, all right? Or because of what he said about Obi and the rest, right? So you can say all of that. And then his own guys will be like, then they wake up the following day and they will start attacking the rest of Obi and Obedient and the rest. So in my own book, right, even if I disagree with all of you, I disagree with you, the obedient, that you want to save Nigeria. But do I make you comfortable here? Of course, because you are fighting a monster that is out there to actually kill all of us, whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, it doesn't matter who you are. The establishment is meant to kill all of us. But it's just about time that they will kill us. Or why? Those who are dying right now, you can see, oh, they killed that one, this one died, that one died. They jailed this one, they arrest that one, they kidnapped that one, this or that. Today, that's what the system is meant for us. So if you disagree with it, you will be my friend, even if I don't agree with you on your approach. And that's what I encourage on Maiyegun's Diary Political. I do not approve of Showore's uncontrolled outburst online lately. But we are not going to batch him here. We are not going to entertain anything that is going to make him to look real bad. But you know what you're doing when you do that? I know some of you are really, really angry. No, voila. It doesn't change anything though, right? But what you are doing is when you continue to push that narrative of hatred towards yourself, saying horrible things about yourselves, you are just helping the Tinubu and the known establishment, right? You are just helping them to live long. I don't want them to live long. I don't know where the whole spark is going to happen from. Is it going to happen from the east, from the west, from the north, the middle belt? Is it going to happen among the young people? Is it going to happen among the Air Force, the military, or the police? I don't care where it's going to happen from. Something just has to happen. And for that thing to happen, you see all those who disagree with the arrangement, they must come together to agree that this thing must go down. And then we can discuss all of our own, our different options and choices, if we still want to be part of the contraption or not. But if all of you are using so much energy to tear ourselves apart, you are just doing the job of the establishment. They don't even have to do anything. Let Showore attack Obi, let Obedient attack Showore. And let Showore people also go on and attack the Igbo people. And let the Igbo people also go on and attack the Obedient. And let the Obedient, like that. Let the Obedient attack the IPOB and Biafrans. Let everybody keep attacking themselves like that. Why they are all the victims of the same system. Misgovernance, divided country, and all of that. So That is why we will not, no matter how all of you feel, okay, you will not batch sure on this platform. You will not do the job of APC for them conveniently here. Please. Let me take this one. I know my time is so up, but I'll take this one. He's so fond of calling in so late. And this should be Adeola. How are you, Baba?
Baba, how far?
Adeola. Brother, how you doing?
Baba, Otilo, you don't go.
So Otilo.
Otilo, you don't go. You don't cast. Everything you don't go. Otilo, man.
Baba.
Otilo, Baba is gone. So, I think part of piggyback from what the elder said, if you are looking to make any changes, there will be some stops. You have the opportunity to change some things. After that stop, you can't change anything again. This is my point. I think we've passed those parts whereby you can still make changes to things. You can still do one or two things to salvage the union. But you have passed that threshold.
It's gone. It's gone.
You can't edit it anymore. You have to see from that perspective. It's not even about any ideology anymore. It's not about what you think will happen.
It's not about you being right, me being wrong, or you're wrong, I'm right. No. What happened now right now is that on this Nigeria, no.
It's immaterial.
Don't try.
Your ideology, my own ideas of what will happen, everything we are talking about is immaterial. Do you know what is immaterial, Baba? The outcome of all their decisions from times past would have to materialize. So the outcome of defunding the schools, the outcome of defunding the police, the outcome of bankrupting the economy as a whole, the outcome has to come to life.
It has to.
You have to deal with a bankrupt nation. All the moves they made to make
and everybody has to come to that reality. This mentality of Nigeria is a rich country. Nigeria is blessed. Nigeria is our leaders are the problem. You actually need to come to reality first that Nigeria is a poor country. Nigeria needs help.
Baba, you don't cast. You don't
cast.
Baba, you don't go. Law, because the reason why it has gone is because the repercussions of those actions of defunding the schools, of not equipping the schools, of not having food security or energy security, those days have gone. We had a chance to still diversify the economy, but just second term. We didn't do it. First term, we didn't do it. We had the chance of making sure there's food security with all our Greek schools. We didn't do it. All those things, we've passed this bus stop. Now there's no more bus stop anymore. No. We have to get to the end of that line. And that is where we are heading. Any changes you are trying to make now is immaterial. Even if you are trying to revise upwards minimum wage cannot catch up with inflation.
No,
this is my point. I'm an economic student. It's not, because you are not making food secure. You're not food secure. And you're not energy secure. How can I explain this best? Look at the first year you came to the UK, Maiyegun. I'm not sure how many years you've been in the UK. Take that year you came to the UK as the base year.
Yes.
And look at what the base year of a pint of milk, and now a pint of milk now, and do that math.
People are screaming, right?
Exactly.
We used to buy that 1 liter, that 1 liter milk, right?
Yeah, 1 liter.
Yeah, I used to buy that for, I think it was about 76 pence. Okay, that big one.
Then
it became I think it became £1. I think £1.05. I still bought it at that.
Yeah.
Today is about £1.70. Or £1.80, right?
£1.70.
And this is 12 years after I came to this country.
This is 12 years after.
12 years. Inflation has hit it. I mean, UK experienced inflation, no doubt. All right.
Yeah, it's not any form of utopia. UK is not utopia.
A liter of milk is not being sold for £10. And somebody would tell me, Papa, that one 12 years ago now. You said think now. 12 years ago, you still want to buy milk for £1? Papa, I'm still buying milk for less than £1 in the UK as we speak.
Exactly. So look at that base year that you took from ever since you came to the UK and now. I'm just using that point of view as an example.
Like a baseline, like a base of the base,
as a baseline. There's a mandatory effort to keep food security at a particular level in a lot of European countries, about 70% UK food security. So for every 10 items you're trying to buy or you wish to buy, 7 out of it is domesticated. So the first 7 out of 10, 6 to 7. So they are secure to 6 to 70% food wise. So in case war breaks out, they will just lack avocado. They will lack so many items, but don't lack chips, don't lack pork, don't lack their chicken, don't lack their beef, don't lack their fish in their own rivers.
No.
So there is that push for food security and energy security, but we've passed that threshold. We have not been able to keep our prices down and boost local production. That time has passed. So now we are having to face the repercussions and the outcome of those decisions that we did not take. So my own ideology, yours, put together into one basket, you banish, doesn't matter, is immaterial.
No.
What is material is the evidence of this outcome. It has to come crashing down. So even if labor should push to, or you make it a multiple, or that whatever the minimum wage is, or 5 times multiple is what a center will make. That's not who's going to enforce it.
Who is going to?
Who's going to?
Enforcement means you have the money to pay for it. Nigeria doesn't.
Exactly.
Because these guys will continue to loot. Maybe if they stop looting, right, there will be enough money to offset this. But there is no money to offset this. These guys will take it. They will steal it. Even it's like money is going out of fashion. Adeola, the way at which these guys are looting money. It's like is money going out of fashion? It is well. Adeola, thank you, Baba. Okay. We've overshot our time as usual. I'm going to see you all tomorrow.
You don't cast. Enjoy. You don't cast.
You don't cast. Now everybody go chop.
You don't cast. Last. Everybody go chop breakfast.
Except for those who are living in denial. We are all shopping. We are all chopping breakfast right now. More than that, tomorrow is another day. For now, there is no promised strike because they are waiting for Tinubu to say the offer is 62,000 or 600,000. I don't know. Thanks so much, everyone, for your time. Okay, enjoy the rest of your evening and keep whatever you want to say to me. Keep them till tomorrow. You will have a chance of sharing them with me. But before you leave tonight, okay, like the broadcast. That is to show that you are here. And if this is your first time on this platform, maybe you should subscribe to the rest of you, the veterans, right? You need to check your notification and see if you are still subscribed onto Maiyegun's Diary Political, or if your notification is still on. If everything is perfect. Great. I will see you later. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun Diary. sìn kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kí ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.